It's worth saying that we started, I think the first report that we put out on the impacts of climate change was noting the fact that disasters were increasing. We put that out about 7 or 8 years ago. So climate change is not a new thing to Christian Aid. It's something that we've been working on for quite a while, and we've been doing research, but it's only recently that we've taken it on board as a major campaign and the biggest issue that we're working on, because it's plainly the biggest issue facing the world in many ways. For Christian Aid, climate change, first and foremost, is a justice issue. We're looking at it as an issue which, a problem that is caused by the rich world, and that is impacting on poor people, poor communities first and worst.
I'm Rosalia from El Salvador. I think everybody knows about our problems the third world country has with the climate change. What is the climate change exactly? What is the cause of the climate change? The climate change is not an environmental problem. It's caused for this economic system that we have. This economic system that only thing that is important for him is produce to reproduce and square. It doesn't matter the human, it doesn't matter the environment. It's not only a simple thing. We have and we can have this movement, social movement, that is important to change. The alternatives that the Europe and United States give us is not the real alternatives. It's only for their interests, because they want more money. And what is the new alternative? The friendly environmental alternative is the biodiesel or the agri-fuel. We call agri-fuel. But what happened with this agri-fuel? The people lose their lands. The people lose their natural seed. We can't have corn because we live with the corn, beans, the vegetable. We can't have this in our lands because we lose the lands, and the company only wants to have sugar or this kind of vegetable or that they use for this diesel or this food, and is insecure, and we live in a insecurity food, the people, and this is increase in our, and also we don't have a good healthy system, and it's a problem with that because the children dying and the children don't have a space for that. And I would like to say that we are not guilty for these carbon emissions because the companies that are from UK or from Europe and from the United States come as a country and they work with this emission. We don't produce this emission exactly. And UK or the United States can say, well, I cut this emission, I stopped my emission, but the third world country produced this emission, and we are not guilty. And I think we have to do something, but together, in a movement, because it's important. In no wait for the planet die, because the planet is knocking our door, and they say it's time to do something. It's time to recover, I think. Thank you.
I'm from Brazil. I'm from MST, the Landless Workers Movement in Brazil. So one of the things that called my attention to this camp is that the Landless Workers Movement, we work mainly with what you call here direct action, occupying lands, private lands in Brazil, to claim them for agrarian reform. Why am I here taking part in the Carbon March? Actually, for us, the struggle against climate change is a struggle against the system. What Rosalia said, and Elliot and Simon, about we taking individual actions to cut the carbon. I mean, for us, it's really important to take individual actions because we must live what we believe. So if if we say that climate change is a problem, we must leave it in our lives to cut the carbon emissions, try to stop it. But in fact, the real cause of climate change is the economic system. So if we don't challenge the economic system, we won't be able to stop climate change or other environmental damages that are happening in the world. I was just reading today, I think it was yesterday's newspaper, I don't know, but there was an article about how the Brazilian government is really happy because it says that the Amazon deforestation this year has decreased, I think 20%. And then the social movements are saying, yeah, it has decreased because price of soybean has decreased, so they're not cutting too much trees to plant soya because it's not so profitable anymore. But as soon as agrofuels or biofuels, as we call it here, make the price of soybean increase again, deforestation will increase as well. Yesterday we were also reading about the banks, the 5 biggest banks who are making policies to cut the carbon. And so it was like HSBC was the greenest bank, I think. And when you look at it, I mean, I can't be very happy about it because I know what these banks are doing to everybody in the whole world. I mean, it doesn't matter if they are only cutting the carbon because it is important because they know that if they don't do anything, they will lose customers. But we are not really changing what the system, the economic system that is causing the environmental damages. And the system always finds a way around to make more profit, and in making more profit, creating more environmental damage. Sugarcane is one of the most oppressive kind of production in Brazil. I live in a very traditional sugarcane area, which is like wherever you go, it's only sugarcane. And it's being one of the most oppressive, labor oppressive. It uses lots of land only for monoculture of sugarcane. And normally what we call the sugarcane landowners have lots of political power in Brazil because they've been economically and politically very powerful since colonization. So what we used to say that the ethanol boom is like going back again to colony times when alcohol and sugarcane was, and the landowners had a lot of power and I mean we are against any kind of large scale production of biofuels. Sugarcane, soya now in the Amazon area and interior Brazil is growing much more because of agrofuels as well. There is no way out of it. I mean, you'll never be able to have in a country like Brazil, which has the worst land concentration in the world, which is traditionally a country based on monocultures, of large states of monocultures, which has like millions of landless people just working like for nothing for these monocultures. You won't change it and be able to have small scale production of biofuels. It's to be very naive to think that you can do it. What is already happening in Brazil, that the price of land in places like Pernambuco, where I live, or São Paulo, have already increased like 20 or 30% because of international capital coming to buy land in Brazil to produce sugarcane and soya for agrofuels. So we don't think it is sustainable at all. It's only going to create more land concentration, more labor abuse, more income concentration in our countries. I mean, it may be very good for the US or for Europe because we're going to buy cheap and green fuel, but in places where it's produced, it's not good at all.